You flip open a page marked January 1. The paper is cool under your fingertips, the black ink steady and unhurried. A short meditation points to a simple fact. Some things are yours to steer. Most are not. Outside the window, a motorbike growls. A notification lights up. The day starts tugging at your sleeve. Before you're pulled into the noise, pause with that page in your hand and ask, when the world demands everything, what will you keep? This is a book built to answer that in the language of days. Not grand speeches, not one-time vows, but small, repeatable moves that teach your mind how to stand. If you stay with me, we'll walk those moves together until the page in your hand feels like a compass you can return to whenever the weather turns. And by the end, we'll come back to this first page and that one clear choice that can carry you through. The Daily Stoic was written by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman to bring the wisdom of the ancient Stoics into a modern rhythm, one idea per day, drawn from Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, and other voices who wrestled with fear, anger, ambition, grief, and power centuries ago. They weren't writing from an ivory tower. Marcus ruled an empire amid crisis. Seneca managed wealth and politics and still asked how to live rightly. Epictetus began life in bondage and taught freedom of mind. Their ideas survived because they were built for rough weather. This book distills those ideas into brief meditations that you can carry in your pocket and apply before breakfast, in traffic, during a hard conversation, or when you're alone at night. At its core, the message is quiet but fierce. Control what you can, your judgments, choices, and actions, and let everything else be what it is. From that discipline grows a life of clarity, courage, self-control, justice, and peace. It's not about becoming untouchable. It's about becoming trustworthy to yourself. The first truth the book returns to again and again is the dividing line between what is up to you and what is not. Weather, markets, other people's opinions, the past, even parts of your own body, these lie outside your control. Your responses do not. That distinction sounds simple until the phone call comes, the plan changes, or the person you love says something that stings. The Stoics train you to draw that line in real time. Imagine you're at an airport and a delay stretches into hours. You can spiral into frustration, or you can use the delay to read, breathe, reflect, message someone you've been meaning to think, or simply practice patience as a muscle. The event doesn't change, your inner posture does. One daily practice in the book suggests asking, is this within my control, before you answer an email, take a meeting, or react to an insult. Most storms pass through without your consent. Your steering wheel stays in your hands. From that line, a second truth unfolds. Events are not inherently good or bad. Our judgments color them. The Daily Stoic invites you to notice the space between stimulus and response, and to shape that space. Picture a coworker who takes credit for your work. Your first judgment might be outrage. Pause, and you can reframe. This is a test of my character, a chance to document my contributions calmly, a moment to practice courage in a measured conversation. Reframing isn't denial, it's strategy. The Stoics use a lens to see clearly. What happened? What can I do next? What would a wise person do here? The book turns that lens into a habit. In small conflicts, the practice builds strength for larger ones. Illness, loss, betrayal. Perception can make fear worse, or it can make meaning. One daily entry urges you to remove the story from the event, then choose a better story. This is not positive thinking, it's precise thinking. Third, the Stoics insist that virtue is the only true good. Not likes, not promotions, not even comfort. Virtue here means 4 things: wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control. The Daily Stoic takes these out of marble and places them on your kitchen table. Wisdom is choosing the right aim and the right means. Justice is doing right by others even when no one's watching. Courage is acting in the face of fear, not the absence of it. Self-control is keeping your desires and anger on a leash so they serve you, not the other way around. How do you translate that into Tuesday morning? Before a meeting, decide, what would a wise, just, courageous, and self-controlled version of me do in this room? When your kid interrupts you at your laptop, justice and self-control may mean you pause and listen. When you're tempted to send a sarcastic reply, courage may be restraint. One piece in the book points to practicing poverty, wearing simple clothes, eating plainly, to remind yourself that you can be okay with less so you're not enslaved to more. Virtue turns values into small daily choices that stack. Fourth, prepare your mind for adversity before it knocks. The Stoics call this premeditation of what can go wrong, not to wallow and worry, but to rehearse resilience. Picture your plan for the day. Now picture the detours: traffic, rejection, a payment that doesn't arrive, a headache, a mistake you'll have to own. How will you behave if each happens? State it once in the calm of morning, and you'll be less likely to panic at noon. Seneca once advised imagining the loss of possessions to loosen their grip on you, then returning to life with gratitude. The Daily Stoic brings that into a practice. Expect difficulties, rehearse your steady steps, and meet reality with a ready heart. This kind of mental vaccination doesn't make pain pleasant, it makes it survivable. And often, that preparation prevents you from making trouble worse by flailing. Fifth, cultivate an inner citadel, a place inside you that remains steady regardless of weather. The book leans on the idea that while you serve your roles, parent, partner, friend, worker, citizen, your peace isn't rented to outcomes. You can be fully committed and not fragile. Picture a lighthouse in a storm. The waves slam, the wind howls, the light keeps sweeping in its circle. The inner citadel is not a wall, it's a foundation. You still feel things, you still care. You just don't hand control of your mood to every gust. How do you build that? Through small disciplines: a morning breath, a page of reflection, slow meals, honest conversations, limits on your cravings, and an evening review. The Daily Stoic recommends journaling. What did I do well? Where did I fall short? What can I do tomorrow? This nightly debrief turns days into teachers.
Sixth, beware of passions that run you ragged. Anger feels strong, but it makes you easy to push. Desire feels sweet, but it can bend your judgment. Anxiety pretends to be a plan. Often it's just noise. The book doesn't tell you to be a statue. It invites you to sit beside your feelings without letting them drive. Try this. When anger arises, name it as a weather pattern passing through the mind. Note the bodily cues: heat in the face, tight shoulders. And breathe until you can ask, what's the useful part of this energy? Sometimes it's a signal that a boundary was crossed. You can defend it calmly. Sometimes it's your ego, and you can let it drain without a speech. With desire, ask, if I say yes to this, what am I saying no to later? With anxiety,
Separate problems into those with actions you can take now and those with none. Do one small action. Release the rest. Passion isn't the enemy. Unexamined passion is. 7th, remember mortality, not as a gloom, but as a guide. The Daily Stoic returns to this with tenderness. Life is finite. Love people now. Many emperors surrounded themselves with flattery. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that he would die, and so would those who criticized or praised him, and therefore the only thing that mattered was to act according to nature and virtue today. You don't need skulls on your desk to live this. Put your phone face down at dinner. Tell someone the kind sentence you've been saving. Start the project that scares you because it matters. When you remember time is limited, trivial things shrink and real things rise. 8th, serve the common good. Stoicism can be misunderstood as self-protective. In truth, it's communal. We're parts of a larger whole. Justice is not abstract. It's how you treat the barista, the junior employee, the person who can do nothing for you. The Daily Stoic nudges you toward fairness in the ordinary. Pay your debts. Keep your word. Don't gossip. It wastes your dignity. Be the person who brings clarity into rooms, not confusion. Courage includes speaking up when it's costly. Self-control includes stepping back so others can step forward. Wisdom includes learning from those younger or older than you without vanity. In a chaotic world, humility is a public service. 9th, simplify. Most of us are not short on information. We're short on attention. The book's design, 1 page a day, is a form of mercy. It suggests limits. You don't need to devour everything. You need to digest something. Pick a practice and stay with it. Maybe it's choosing not to argue online. Maybe it's going to bed on time. Maybe it's 5 minutes of stillness before dawn. Simplicity is not deprivation. It is focus. Clutter of mind, schedule, room hides from you what matters most. The Stoics would have you clear the table so you can finally see your life. 10th, be teachable. The Stoics were readers and note-takers. They copied lines, not for display, but to carve them into memory. Today, that can look like underlining a sentence that matters, rewriting it in your own words, and practicing it in one conversation. When you discover you were wrong, say so and change. That is strength. When someone corrects you, thank them and test the correction. Pride makes you brittle. Curiosity makes you resilient. A daily practice from the book is to ask, what did I learn today that I can use tomorrow? Wisdom grows by admission, not performance. 11th, practice gratitude as a discipline. Gratitude isn't a mood that visits. It's a choice you make when you're tempted to numbness or envy. The Daily Stoic threads thankfulness through its pages. If you woke up today, you already have what many do not. If you can read these words, your mind is working, and that is not small. If you struggled today, you've been given raw material for patience. Gratitude doesn't mean pretending hardship is pleasant. It means refusing to let hardship erase what is still good. Try starting the day by listing 3 specific things you're glad for. Not generalities, but concrete gifts. A friend's laugh, a quiet room, the chance to begin again. Finally, translate this all into a cadence you can keep. A Stoic life is ordinary in the best way. Wake with intention, do your work, love your people, keep your promises, learn from your stumbles, rest and reset. Use the book as a metronome. 1 page in the morning to set your perception, 1 decision at noon to choose virtue, one page at night to examine your will. Over weeks, that rhythm becomes a kind of armor you don't notice you're wearing until a difficult day arrives, and you realize you can stand. So, let's gather the strands. The Daily Stoic teaches you to draw a clear line between what is yours to command and what is not, to master your judgments before they master you, and to live by 4 pillars: wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control. In deeds, not slogans. It prepares you for adversity so you're not surprised by it. Invites you to build an inner citadel without sealing yourself off from love, and reminds you that death is not an enemy to fear, but a boundary that sharpens meaning. It asks you to serve the common good, simplify your attention, remain teachable, and practice gratitude as a choice. None of this is flashy. All of it is powerful when repeated. The point isn't to impress anyone. It's to become trustworthy with your own life. Come back with me to that January 1st page. The ink is still there, quiet and steady. The world will take its share today: your time, your energy, your patience. Let it take what is its own. Hold on to what is yours: your judgment, your choices, your actions. If you want to make this more than a nice idea, here's a simple next move. Pick one virtue to practice today. Wisdom in the form of asking a clarifying question. Justice in the form of keeping a small promise. Courage in the form of starting something you've delayed. Or self-control in the form of one deliberate no. Tonight, write one sentence about how it went. Then turn the page. Do it again tomorrow. This book is not a lecture. It's a path laid in small stones. Walk it one step at a time. If this spoke to you, I want to hear one line from your day. In one sentence, what is the smallest Stoic act you'll do today? Leave that sentence below right now, then save this video to come back to tonight. We started with a single page in your hand. End the day by returning to that page in your mind. The ink is the same. You are already different. Join us here as we practice this, not perfectly, but together.